Hello, GMGM. We are back, guys, with the $1 trade show. I'm Diego. This is Nick. We are here to bring you everything that went on prediction markets the last few days. And today we are straight here from Buenos Aires, beautiful
Oh, you are.
Argentina.
I'm
I
not.
am.
You are.
You're not
I'm here.
yet.
I'm
Yeah,
in a cold north.
I'm on a cold
I'm
south.
wearing t-shirts because it's
That's
fucking
it.
hot.
I always wear t-shirts. Anyway. Oh no, maybe okay, I'm gonna save this for next week. I will wear a hoodie and we will have a grumpy Monday once again.
Okay,
Every once
great.
in a while
Great. Look
we
forward
have
to
one
a
of these.
grumpy moment. Yeah.
Yes. So since I've been in Buenos Aires, I've got a mustache, just try to blend with
And
people
then
around here.
you blend.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll
Everybody
try.
got mustaches there.
Let's see. Let's see. Fuck. So I have a different setup today. So let me know if you can see my screen properly. And let's get started. Because as always, we have so much content to cover today. Dude, time flies. This happened 1 year ago. So Shane
Yeah.
Copeland, founder of Polymarket, posted this on November 14, last Friday. 1 year ago today, I got raided by the FBI for building Polymarket. Cheers to free markets, the American dream, and $3,000 an hour lawyers. Yeah, at least,
He doesn't. I just want to comment on the fact. Well done for being able to afford $3,000 an hour
that's it.
lawyers
Same,
before the $2 billion raise this year.
dude. That
You were
was the same
printing.
thing that caught my attention. So if you can afford that, halfway done, halfway done.
Yeah, exactly. You're halfway there.
Great work.
You got the lawyers. You good. You good.
Yeah, great work, man. So, and of course, what everybody was talking about during the weekend, and UFC and Polymarket, they just announced this partnership, exclusive partnership with Crypto Prediction Market. So now Polymarket, and then after, let me check the timestamp of this. This is crazy because Watcher Guru posted this at 10 a.m. and only 45 minutes later, the official Polymarket account posted this. Probably they
Funny they
were
were later,
reviewing.
right?
Yeah, they probably
Yeah,
were reviewing
yeah,
the
they were.
copy, this kind of stuff, and yeah. But that's huge. I mean, that's huge. We've
This
been,
this is bigger than the Yahoo and the Google one. I said this last week. I
yeah,
tweeted it out. This is much bigger, and the reason being is it's in it's in situation, it's in context, right? So they'll be having. I'm presuming I don't know how it's going to set up, right? But if I had paid for this partnership, which they will have, I presume they do anyway, right? I would have the banners everywhere. I would have QR codes to the specific fight. Right there we go. Right, is that well? That's not
yeah,
inside though, right? But like inside, right? I would have
yeah.
QR codes to the specific page with the fucking market in it, so people can bet during it. That is so. I don't know how many people attend these. Let's say how many people attend UFC fights. I'm going to look it up.
I don't
How
know. It's
many
it's. Can we
people?
say the UFC is UFC bigger than box? Because when I was
Box,
a kid, box was really big. But when I was
boxing.
a teenager, UFC, MMA, and UFC started to get bigger and bigger, and now
Yeah,
I
that's
see
it.
video
That.
games of UFC of AMM
Do
and
you know who
UFC together.
UFC own? Do you know who else they own?
No.
WWE,
Oh,
the
okay,
wrestling.
the
Right?
wrestling.
So they bought them. So there you go. I was going to say that, but I didn't. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
want to because I thought that's ridiculously large, right? But so okay, so it ranges from a few thousand to 50,000. So a really big fight. The biggest attendance so far is 57,127, and that was UFC 243. So that was like I think over 100 fights ago. Um, so like
How
50,000
about
people
how about
in context seeing this, betting here, bet here, bet here. That's like
how
next level
about
shit.
how about the streams? Because you're talking about actually in place
In
during the
place.
event,
Yeah, yeah.
in place. I'm wondering about the streams.
Yeah,
'Cause
they'll
that's
be doing it. They'll be doing it live on.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe right. It depends.
I'm
I
just
don't
curious
watch
how many
UFC.
people
Right.
watch.
I like it, but I don't really watch sports that much. Right. Um, I prefer to play sports. I get bored watching it.
Hmm.
and or I get way too excited because the last time I watched a fight, I was just like, "Fucking punch that cunt's fucking
I
head." I
want
was
to
like
fight. I want to fight
losing
as
my,
well. I started.
I know,
I feel
and
that.
pillows at sofas like, yeah, fucking,
That
I
will be.
lose my mind. I lose my mind. Um, but yeah, I imagine they'll have ad slots on the TV, right, as part of the deal. And they will also, if there is some sort of like closed streaming for like UFC fans, like maybe you buy a subscription or some shit like that, I don't know.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
they'll have it in there and they'll have it on their website, right? So, like, let's can I go to the UFC website?
Hmm. To give you the best yards. Yeah, the interesting thing here is they don't say exactly what are the terms, how long it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean that's up to those guys. But I just wanted to jump on a site. That's how to watch. There's nothing about it. So it's on TNT. This is like an American sports channel. That's one place.
Hmm.
Then there's ones that are UFC Fight Pass. So I'm presuming they're like, yeah, okay. So you watch that online. So that's streaming. So if I
Yeah,
go to that one, so they have different ways. So they'll be in different places. But the thing is, they have a really engaged audience,
they
and
have.
they
They
can
do
show the
have.
market specifically about what that audience is watching. Remember, we spoke to it was a big app, the name, and they started going to, I think it was Indonesia or something like that, and buying out entire like football. When I say football, I mean real
Oh
football.
yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm.
They were buying out the football grounds with that, and they said it was amazing for their growth and their retention and stuff.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So I think this is far bigger than being shown on Google or being shown on Yahoo. Like that's fucking nonsense. That's like that's like fucking a circle jerk for like finance people. It doesn't matter. This is real users who may not have heard of it or have heard of it and hadn't done anything about it. So I'm interested to see how their numbers grow.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see
And
if
this,
they are going to embed this partnership on the video games. Imagine you are going to
oh
play
wow, that'd be,
UFC the
no, they won't
game,
be able to because
and
of the kids.
yeah, but
They
it
can't do
will
that.
be that will be cool. That will be interesting.
Um,
There will be some
but
extra stuff.
yeah, I
Okay.
think I think it's good. I think that's net
No,
positive, and that's one
it's
thing
yeah,
that
it's great.
Kalshi can't piggyback on, right? Because what seems to be happening right now is Polymarket announces something, then Kalshi announces the exact same thing, and then Kalshi announces something, then Polymarket announces it. It's like, and that, see, Polymarket
This is what I'm
Kalshi
waiting.
partner.
This is
Oh,
the announcement
dude,
I'm
I'm
waiting.
gonna say something. I was way ahead of everybody. He only had like fucking 5 comments on that. When I like retweeted it, I feel like I got the alpha. That should have been sent. That's like one of the best tweets I've seen in this entire war. In this whole war, that's like that dude Michael Mara smashed it. Well done, Michael. That was great. The timing was great. He really spoke to how fucking annoyed we all are with hearing the same partnership announces coming out of these two, and it must be really frustrating for the internal teams. And then
Yeah,
they must be
it's a
like
fucking
really
competition.
competitive. Who can get it out
Yeah,
first,
it's a fucking
right?
competition. Yeah, it's a hard competition. That yeah.
And what it really means is they just cancel each other out, and nobody actually pays attention to it, except from like the armies, the Kalshi army and the Polymarket army. All the spectators on the ground are looking at it and going, "We don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
We don't
I mean,
care."
but they are moving at a really fast pace. It must be a hard
Yeah.
time, an exciting but hard time for their marketing team and their biz dev team
Their
because
whole everybody,
yeah,
everybody in that company will be like, in both of those companies will be like,
yeah, yeah,
like there won't be a beat missed.
yeah, yeah. So let me get back here because okay, we saw the UFC partnership and then we got this post here from Sky. Interesting time for Poly Market in the UFC to strike a deal. Keen to learn more about how Poly Market will preserve integrity in sports, or maybe there is no concern and there will be no foul play on the offshore decentralized no limit no customer crypto sports betting exchange. And then he posts this. He doesn't share this is what kills me. He didn't share the source of this, but UFC met with FBA after suspicious betting in Bulgarian fights. UFC and FBA are actively working together on investigation in unusual betting activity ahead of the fight last week in Las Vegas. So it talks out of the echo chamber about how good this
Yeah.
partnership is. This is why I wanted to bring this
I think the
here.
partnership will bring up some interesting stuff like this. It's just like, so what happens if there seems to be quite apparent insider trading, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think,
Mm-hmm.
who was it? Is it Dustin Gowler?
This
The,
row,
no, the guy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Gowler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, funnily enough, on his Twitter profile, he has a picture, and it's like a Scottish furniture warehouse. It's really weird, and I had to actually question him about it. I went off topic there and might have forgot what I was talking about. Um, yeah, I definitely did. Oh no, that's what he was saying. He was like, look, when sports betting and all that became more regulated, there was far less criminal activity
Mm-hmm.
in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was easily detectable anyway, right? This is the
Yeah.
thing. Very sophisticated criminals are very difficult to detect, and or they are paying people not to be detected, right? The low level shit will get washed out. It's not
Mm-hmm.
to say that there won't be high level like stuff going on, but I believe that if there is regulation around this, which there will need to be, because people will get injured past like if there is actually like illegal activity going on,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
then
For
it
sure. Yeah.
needs to be investigated. Once it's investigated, there'll be a body created within the government to say we need to regulate this, and it might not be
And
regulated like sports betting. It might be closer, more regulated like the SEC does, like financial instruments, because
yes.
they went for we're a financial instrument direction. Okay, that means the SEC might need to come up with some sort of you're a financial instrument betting on
Yes.
sports, so you need to make sure that there's no illegal activity in there.
Exactly. So if it's treated, if prediction markets start to become treated as actually financial instruments, or if they are providers of financial instruments, the regulation is already there. It's already in place. You just need to start applying the regulation. I just
Yeah, I
don't know
suppose.
how it's going to spam out with know your customer in decentralized protocols. I just don't know what
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
going
that's it.
to deal with this situation. But I mean, in theory, the regulation is out there already.
Well, I guess Polymarket and Kalshi aren't particularly decentralized, right? Like that's
Yeah, I mean,
the unspoken about thing. They're not really
there's a
decentralized.
spectrum of decentralization in
Exactly.
basically any platform. I mean, there's always a pinpoint where you can okay, this is not decentralized.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. And okay, what I'm actually interested in this is I saw this post from Justin here. It's Dana White from UFC, Shane Copeland, and Hasbullah, the
Yeah.
famous meme guy. This is what I want to see. Shane and Hasbullah on an AI. I would like to see them on a
Can
real
you not do
fight.
it in with Grok? You can do it with Grok.
I tried. It only brings me shitty things that the guys doesn't resemble them at all. That's it.
That's
This one.
because it's Grok and
I
Elon
tried the
doesn't actually build
Pika
great
Pika
products.
one. I tried the Pika AI. Didn't work.
You
Um,
did so you
I,
didn't use Grok.
no, I used
Use
Pika.
Grok.
It
Why
was
you've got
supposed to be the free version
log
of
into
Grok.
our account. Yeah, but well, yeah, because we've got a paid account for Groovy anyway. So like, I don't know if you've
Hmm.
got a paid account for
Okay,
your account.
yeah.
Just use it and
Finalize
see what
this
happens.
post. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna try that again.
Do that.
I just wanted to highlight that I will have to share my screen again for this one because I need to share the audio as well.
People that you wouldn't imagine what their background is, and they're able to become very, very big experts in something. Like our biggest inflation trader is actually this random guy from Kansas. He's never traded financial markets and anything, but he's made so much money because he's very, very good at predicting inflation by reading the news and everything. And I think from a lot of the users, well,
So that's the part that I wanted to share. So the biggest trader on inflation on Kaushi is a guy from Kansas. This is the magic of know your customer, right? They know.
We
So
can tell you exactly where he lives. SEC
I know
slash
who you are. I
IRS
know where you
slash
live. I know how
FBI.
much. It was cool. I mean, I'm not saying that in a way that I want to criticize at
Is
all.
what it
Just
is.
it is what it is. I mean, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, when the government runs a lottery and they pay huge prizes, they know who is gaining the prize. You know,
Yeah.
the banks are paying to that person. They know that they meet, I mean, face to face to do all this stuff. No concern from my side with that. But it was interesting. Two things. Okay, there's a guy with no financial background. I don't know how deep they went to understand who's that person, but they know there's a guy from Kansas with no financial background is the best trader on inflation. So knowing all the details of the person calls my attention, and the fact that a guy with no background on finance or everything. It's just trading and it's the best trader on that
Well,
specific
we do
area
know that Kalshi has closed groups, and he's
as
probably in
as
there,
well.
right?
Yeah,
Like that's why we did ask some dates over there about that because we were looking for something like Prediction Art that we could hang out in Kalshi and get to know the Kalshi people as well because we only really get to know the Polymarket guys well-ish. But yeah, it's a closed group, so Kalshi should actually sort that out and open up something and be a bit more crypto and not have things so closed. Like, open it up, guys.
yeah, and so yeah, and but what she was highlighting is everyone is an expert on something. The
Something,
fact
yeah.
that we've been highlighting here, I mean, you probably have an edge that I don't have in something that I don't understand. So if you want to jump into prediction markets, try to find your edge. Maybe you
Your
are the
edge.
next person from, I don't know, from Buenos Aires with no expertise in cinema and movies, but you know what's going on the releases. Who knows? So this is so PJ puts out these tweets once a week with updates on prediction market. It's based on data dashboard from June here from Dash, and Dash just posted this as well. So Polymarket hasn't had a single day under 500,000 transactions this month in November. So what used to mark peak hype for prediction markets is now just baseline. So the average number of transactions it's hovering around what used to be like the top. In overall volume, I mean, we it's interesting. So for the last week, we saw Kaushi moving a little bit over Polymarket with 30% more volume. But we're seeing they are changing the first place week week over week, and then we still have Opinion Labs in the third place. And these three, I mean, Opinion Labs seems to have the one to be the one with more chances to take Culture Polymarket in the near future,
Yeah,
and then Myriads and Limitless hovering around between 10 and 15 million dollars, which is still a lot.
it's good, man.
But yeah, when we compare to hundreds and millions of opinion and the billions of Polymarket and Kaushi,
I'd love him to do a deep dive on opinion. I'd like to understand it more, like because it came out of nowhere, like literally nowhere, as far
yeah,
as we're concerned, right?
yeah, yeah,
And it's on Binance, and we're just like, well, we've seen this sort of play happen before with Binance, and we're not trying to like put down a team or anything like that, but like look at Aster, it's like it's a CZ pump, right? And
yeah.
it's like, well, can we is there a way to make sure that this isn't like an as is actually like genuinely it is
What's going on?
genuine
Yeah,
volume and not
yeah,
not just botted
yeah,
to
yeah.
bits.
So, by the way, since you mentioned, I forgot to highlight this. Last Friday came out this newsletter from our network covering prediction markets specifically. So, covering Polymarket, Opinion, Limitless, and Myriads. So, I invite you guys to check this out. I worked, I helped to write this one as well. So, moving forward here to the next section of the show, I just wanted to give a shout out to Kyle, the writer. So, we've been covering his content here every week, and he joined the thread guy on his live stream last week to talk
Oh,
about
that's dope.
his strategy. Yeah, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, there's a link here. Just go to Kyle, the writer profile, scroll down. It's one of the last
I'm gonna
posts.
post it now. It's on a stream. Just follow us, and you got that.
Oh, great. Yeah. So follow Groovy, you're going to see here. And yeah, it's on the second part of this live stream. And it was right after what was his name? Damn. It's a really famous guy then. Fuck. Anyway, it was a good live stream. Ah, fuck, I'm trying. Damn, it pisses me off. I'm trying to remember who was before him. Damn.
You need better show notes,
Damn,
motherfucker.
I'm awful. I'm awful with names. I'm awful, and this kills me. Okay. Anyway, moving forward, shout out Kyle. It was a great live, man. Talking about partnerships, Coinbase and Kaushi announced this partnership. Excited to have partnered with Kaushi to power prediction markets with USDC. Safeguarded by Coinbase Custody, Kaushi users can now trade markets on real-world events with trust, transparency, and security. So yeah. USDC.
See, Cauchy is like confusing the shit out of me, right? Because now everybody goes chain maxi, right? They've
Mm-hmm.
not went chain maxi at all, and
No.
they are what I could only describe as a polyamorous company. They fucking everybody. Like, I don't mind. I don't care who it is. You want? I've got a bit of Solana in there, bit of base.
They've been teasing Solana,
Everybody else
right?
want to slide up
Yeah.
in here? We go. But, oh, I heard that Sui is quite nice. I'm going to have a little shot of that. See what I think.
Yeah. So if moving forward here, we are going to talk about Car again in the show today in a few minutes. But Car posted, Bloomberg confirmed what I posted a few days ago. People are already trading on Polymarket US. And guys, if you are able to access Polymarket US, leave a comment. Let us know. So the price of US launch is up from 90% to 95%. And then is a link to Polymarket US, and that's it. This is a print screen from Bloomberg article, and he also shares the link for the article here. So let us know, because it might be closer than we think, right? People are
Yeah, we might.
suggesting that it should be. I don't want to influence your trades on Polymarket on this market, because I don't have any special information on that. But people are guessing that probably it will be out by the end of this month.
Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it makes. So you guys don't say that we only talk about Cash and Polymarket. This is from Cash, and Cash is from Lucas. Lucas was here in the show. He has some pretty cool ideas about how to implement bonding curves on prediction markets. Cash is kind of a social prediction market, let's say. And they just announced it. Okay, the Cash leaderboard is live. Track how cashed you are. Referrals, post community activity is a way for us to recognize the great work of our community with K. This is a this is a work. This is a nice work of marketing here. I don't
Yeah.
like, but yeah, I mean they're trying hard. I mean the marketing team, not Cash. Seems to be cool. And yeah, check this out. If you don't know Cash yet, make sure to check this out. They are about to launch.
By IMC Security. Who's IMC Security?
It's Lucas. This one is
Oh,
Lucas.
it's
It's his
Lucas.
profile.
Ah,
Yeah,
right. Okay, cool.
yeah. He
Oh,
came to the
I remember.
show. Yeah, with Yoshi, we were talking about
That
the,
was
the,
when
the
I was
problems.
gone
Yeah,
somewhere.
when you
I
when you
can't even
were when
fucking
you were
remember.
out. Yeah, you were taking vacations or some stuff.
Oh, so I was. I went on holiday for the first time in like fucking 8 years.
That's
Came
it.
back. Everyone's been a shit show since. Don't take holidays, motherfucker.
Oh my God, there's always a
That's what
surprise.
you get, bitch. Take your little holiday. I'll make it harder
Yeah.
for you next time.
So they are that. This is his profile. I mean, his handle is Luca Martin Calderon Security, because it's his background. It's in security or something like that.
Shout
But
out
yeah.
to Kyle for giving a repost a like there.
Oh, great. Thanks, man.
Where's the Rumble guys? They've not shown up. They've not been here
No,
for a
not
while.
yet today. Maybe they are at DevCon, DevConnect. I always
go
miss
find them.
DevConnect. See, I'm
Yeah, I
not
know.
good
So
with
that.
names today. I messed up with names today, which is not good because I'm going to meet a lot of people. Anyway, this is from Hyper Odds. Didn't know this one, but their profile says trade any event anywhere with leverage on Hyperliquid X.
That's
So
what I
the
was about to
difference
say.
between a
It's
gas and a
a hype
market leverage. What? Sorry.
one. It's a hype one.
It is, yeah. So the difference between a guess and a market leverage, it turns opinions into real positions and reveals true conviction. Hyperodd is redefining what prediction markets can be. I don't know exactly what they are building, but it seems that it's. Let's see. I think it's live. Is it?
Trade any. Is that a prediction market?
It's
Is it a
supposed to be
prediction
a
market with
prediction
built-in
market
leverage?
with leverage. I just don't know if they are
I
live
think we
yet.
covered this before ages ago.
Yes,
I was
but
like, what the fuck was that?
no, they are not live yet. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about it, but yeah, it's just not. It
Yeah.
seems that they select some markets from Poly Market. It seems to be something related to, not similar, not related, but
Oh,
similar
that
to
would
what
make
we offer,
sense. Okay.
right?
Yeah. That makes
You
sense.
get some
But
markets
they're doing it
can
on
be,
hype, whereas Gondor's doing it on Polygon, right?
Yes, exactly.
Just check
Yes.
in with Gondor. I've not heard anything from them for a while.
For a while, right? Yeah, just
Yeah.
probably just building. Okay. Moving forward here. Okay. Gave USP was just sharing these Polymarket ecosystem guides. Polymarket ecosystem is growing every day. More and more builders are joining Polymarket builds to create unique products for the number one prediction market. I found a website where you can find all the ecosystem products, and it's Polymarket
Are they
Eco.
paid to say stuff like the
It
number one
seems
prediction market?
so.
I think it's
I
really
think so.
unnecessary.
It
It
is
feels too
right.
much of a like a jab in. I mean, it's. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
need to say it, right? Like you're either it or you're not. Like it doesn't need to. If you
and
are it, you don't need to state it. I
all
feel
the
like
time. Yeah,
yeah.
it feels too. It feels too much. It feels too much, and there's no such
Unless
thing
I mean,
as.
it could be
Yeah.
coming straight from um Polymarket. They could be saying you got to say this.
Maybe they have, right?
Oh, it
Maybe.
was Diego.
What?
He
What?
was on a fucking podcast with Arthur Hayes.
Arthur Hayes, motherfucker. That's
I was
it.
like, oh,
Arthur
he's
Hayes.
fucking huge.
This is what I was trying. This is why I was feeling so
He
bad
said
about that thing. It
he
was one
said
of
he
the
was really
biggest
nervous. He
guys.
just commented on a tweet. He said he was really nervous, and he said it felt like being a little turtle among whales. My friend, you are clearly a giant with the whales because you were
Yeah,
on the
brother.
podcast with the whales.
Exactly. It's Arthur Hayes, motherfucker. I was trying to
We
remember
will
his name.
be like suckers. We'll suck onto you, and you just roll around, right, and hang out with Arthur Hayes and Greg Guy and shit like that.
Yeah, bro. If you're
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
live
I
stream
saw
with
that.
Arthur Hayes, yeah, definitely means something. And the interesting thing about Arthur Hayes, I mean, about his content, at least he doesn't write that often. But dude, when he writes, you should stop whatever you're doing and
Oh
read
yeah, yeah.
his
He's
articles.
one of those guys you need to let. Obviously, you do not wholesale believe anybody with anything, right? Not because
Yeah,
they might manipulate, but just they might be wrong, right? It's everything should come with a but who knows, right?
but who
But
knows?
Arthur
Yeah,
Hayes is one of those guys. He's like a maxi. He's really tuned into this stuff. So it'll be interesting to see because I think he's been predicting the extended cycle. I think that's the narrative that he's been pushing for a little bit now. Um, I I can't remember. I was talking to somebody else about it who knows about these things, and he was like referencing him as well, and I was like, yeah. He goes, but who? But again, who knows? But yeah, that's cool. Imagine being
but
on it.
who
I have
knows?
to say, like when like so I'm part of another community. I won't like shout it out right now, but it's really old, and we had CZ on, and we had what's his
Brian
face?
Armstrong as well, right?
Brad. We
In
had him on a panel. We had
in
yeah, like he was because where this community started, all these G's where
uh-huh.
and then they moved to the US because the regulation in this country is insane, right? So it was basically it was
Yeah,
all in London. But
dude,
during COVID, we had
you
C podcast and we had Anthony Scaramucci as well. We had a whole bunch of other dudes as well. It's just like, but like it's cool. Yeah,
yeah,
we had one. I'm not. We
but you
haven't
guys,
managed to get Scaramucci or CZ back.
the one that I
But
like the most is you had Andres Antonopoulos.
what?
And Andres Antonopoulos from the Internet of Money book. Antonopoulos, the Greek
Oh
origin guy.
yeah, yeah. So we had Anthony. We had, yeah, we had him because and we were chatting to him. He's been
Yeah,
there a few times, like when we were on
yeah.
events. We had also had what's his name, Bitcoin Standard book man. What was it?
The
Oh,
Bitcoin. Oh yeah, Safedan.
Safi. Yeah.
Safedan.
So we had loads. We had like pretty much everybody, like Gavin Woods, Charles Hopkins, like everybody, all the big guys have
Dude, I
been to
remember. I
that
remember a
community.
guy back in the day at the Defiance. There was this reader, really nice guy. He was always saying about, and I would like to see a prediction market for that. Who would win this fight if we get Vitalik, Charles Hoskin, Gavin Woods, and Anatoly from Solana on a fight? Like a one versus one PvP fight between
I
those
don't
guys.
have huge hopes for Vitalik.
No, I would say Gavin Woods. I would say Gavin
I
Woods.
don't know. I've not seen him recently. I mean, Charles is quite big. He's quite a tall guy. He's quite a big guy, you know.
Uh-huh.
So he might like be able to hit
Yeah,
hard. He's got the
I don't know,
reach.
but it's,
He be able to hit hard.
maybe
Um,
only one
what
hit
about
and
Kobe?
it's done.
That's
I don't
actually
know. I don't
When we
know.
had the time that I
I was
saw, the time that
younger.
I was
Yeah.
at the Antonopolis one is the time that I met Kobe
Oh,
briefly.
cool.
I
Okay.
handed him a beer. Yo, the beer. I didn't like. I didn't really know who he was. He was just sitting quietly in the corner. He still worked at
Uh-huh.
that bank
Uh-huh.
at
Uh-huh.
that time. That's how he came in. He never signed up. He snuck through the back door, the staff entrance into the hall, and he was just hanging out. I think he only came to meet Andreas. So. But
Cool.
anyway, old
Yeah.
times.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the content we have here to cover for you. Anyway, I mean, he was just shouting out here, Polymarket, but yeah, it's a cool website, Polymarket Eco, and they are tracking all the let's say Polymarket ecosystem. Everybody who's
That's
building
cool. So
stuff
how many is
related to
that?
Polymarket.
308. Oh, how many
Monthly
tools?
users, 19 categories, 173 tools listed.
Wow.
It's interesting. It's a lot of things here.
19 categories is interesting. Like that's
Yes.
a fucking lot
So,
of
and
stuff.
there's this poly markets builders post, which is pretty cool put together as well. I remember these kinds of graphic back in 2020, 2021, and it was the
It's a
DeFi
Masari. It's a Masari
ecosystem.
copy. Everybody's
Oh,
copying Masari. It's the
okay.
same colors and everything, guys. Guys, it's Masari.
Okay.
They're all want to be Masari.
Okay, I don't know who they are copying, but I really miss it. Where is the $1 trade show? It should be
Yeah,
here on others, or maybe
yeah.
social, maybe culture, or news,
Culture.
news and
We're
media.
about culture. We're
I
about the
think
culture.
so. I think we are
I
about the
think because
culture, yeah,
everybody
but
keeps saying
news and
we've got
media.
good vibes, so we're not helping anybody. We're not intelligent, but we've got good vibes.
That's it. That's it. So I mean, shout out to you guys. It's great putting this stuff together,
Yeah.
but put the $1 trade show here next time. Would be more accurate, I think.
You've been told
Yeah.
by Diego. So Diego has grown a
Uh,
mustache, which makes him 5 times more dangerous.
yes. I don't know. My wife's going to be here in a couple of days, so I probably lose this mustache in a couple of days. But
All
yeah.
right.
Shout outs to our friend Aaron here. So Kyle was with the podcast with Arthur Hales, but dude, Aaron, it's I don't know. It seems that he's moving forward. He's back into to different challenges, and it seems that he will be staring the Odyssey, the old story. Just want to give a shout out to our friend here. Um,
You
okay,
can't
this
you can't
is
stop that, can you?
I
You
can't
you're you're
I
stuck
can't.
in a loop. He is
Yes,
literally a genius mathematician slash excellent murderer now warrior. Well, I
martial
suppose
artist
the
and
martial
spy
everything.
and everything, dude. I
Yeah, I mean
get
he's
so
been in films when he's the AirTag King
I
or
get so
something.
mind blown about the amounts of skills that the guy has. It's just that.
He
Talking
is
about
talented.
skills or pull up guy who we are
Pull up
going to
master.
be challenged. Yeah.
When
So
is
he
he
just
coming
posted
on the
this.
show? That's what I don't
I don't know.
understand.
I don't know.
What fucking
Soon
needs to be on
enough,
the show?
hopefully. We should have a kind of a show for okay, this is an idea, and I want to invite everyone who's listening here. We should have a kind of a closing show for before Christmas or before New Year's with everybody from the space. Maybe space is
We
maybe
only have 10 seats on this. There's only 10 people who
yeah.
can come in at any time. Or we just do a spaces. We just do like a,
We can
a,
do
a big space.
spaces.
We do a
Yeah,
spaces
okay.
where all channel, like everybody's a speaker.
Yes,
Like
everybody
everybody can
can,
speak.
and you can be from Couch, from Myriad, from
It
Polymarket. I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
we
You come
don't.
along.
Yeah, we have a big heart. So everybody's invited. So Justin was posted. Just saw this curve on a video and instantly thought of Polymarket. Dude, if you were watching a video that brings this kind of things, this you are watching the right videos. Most people are watching videos with cats and people falling from stuff just for laughs. So it's a good start. It
Yeah.
feels so mainstream, but I still explain to like 10 people a day about what it is. But I'd rather be doing this now. So yeah, I don't think, yeah. Okay, yeah, it feels mainstream, but it's not, definitely it's not.
Yeah.
So we've been telling this. I mean,
It's because
we
we're
are
so we're in an
really
echo chamber.
right now. Yeah,
And we
that's
think
it.
we think it's our life. But if I walk out into my street and ask anybody I see in the street, or if I go into the city I live in and ask anybody in the city, they might have heard of it. They certainly wouldn't have used it.
Yeah.
Oh
Most
look,
people don't
the
don't actually
others.
yeah. Most
Yeah.
people actually never heard about poly market or Cauchy, and they don't care and they don't understand how prediction markets are different. This is why the best way for explaining prediction markets to people so far that I found is relating them to betting. So have you heard
Yeah.
about betting? Okay, think about
Mhm.
betting, but for general life events, because
Yes.
that's it. We are getting there. We are getting, but not there. Not quite yet. This is from Shenko Plans, and he was just highlighting. Okay, last month starts need a poly market on how big we'll get when we are back in the US, and he was
Back
just
in the US.
back.
So did
So
they were they open in the US and that's why the FBI raided them?
I
Is
think
that
the
what
FBI.
happened?
I think that the FBI raid had more to do with the elections. Actually, they probably, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I guess that they were available in the U.S. really in the beginning, but as soon
Yeah.
as they got a kind of a legal
Certain size.
structure and legal advice, they kind of got out from the U.S.
Yeah.
because
That
nobody
makes sense.
wants to have problems with the U.S. regulators.
We don't
But
want
I mean,
problems with any government regulator. They are a pain
yeah.
in the ass.
So he was just tracking here visits. So similarweb.com,
Yeah.
Robinhood, Coinbase, DraftKings,
Look at
FanDuel,
that.
then
Above Betfair. Above Betfair.
yeah,
But also, why is Bet well, I guess, yeah. Okay. Why is Kraken in there?
it might be
I'm
related
confused to why
stuff.
Kraken's in
So
there.
I yeah, so we have
And
pump up
Coinbase.
Kraken. So
Like they're
Coinbase.
not
So this is
comparable.
for trade. So okay, Robinhood, Coinbase, Kraken for trading. DraftKings, FanDuel, Polymarket. They
Maybe
are not the
maybe
same, man.
maybe it's all trading. Yeah, okay,
Similarweb.
I'll call it trading, right? It's like swaps trading. Yeah, I'll
Exactly.
call it trading.
Swaps
That's
trading.
why
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't really understand that at first.
Yeah, yeah, but it's interesting. Okay, it gives a sense of, and then of course there is a market. So Robinhood built for retail to trade stocks, Polymarket built for anyone to predict anything, and then there is already a market on this here.
Yeah.
Um, so, remember, you were highlighting last week how it doesn't matter actually. I mean, for a marketing strategy, of course, it reflects how much eyeballs you are catching, but it doesn't matter for the financial part
Yeah, it
of the
doesn't like
market
just
and
because you get eyeballs
the
doesn't
traction,
necessarily mean it returns
Yeah,
in users, right? Because that's what we want. Like as a collective in the prediction market world, this is what we want to see. We want to see more users, more adoption, and yeah, people might see Polymarket in a search, but not really care about it, not
yeah,
participate in it. Because the more they participate in prediction markets, the more chance they are to participate in everybody's prediction market.
yeah. Can be the case. So okay, let's move forward with this. Oh, okay, this is really cool. Okay, this is Tulip from Tulip is an analyst and actually invests in on-chain data and AI adversary. Yeah, okay, let's say analyst adversary. So on November 11, roughly a week ago, he posted Polymarket is the easiest place in crypto to make six figures right now. You need to learn a new style of trading, but it's generally fun and relatively easy to have. Okay, saying it's relatively easy to have an edge. Then 5 days ago, update. I'm not doing well learning this new style of trading, but will keep sacrificing my money to the prediction gods until I figure this out. That's really cool. I mean, 33
Pray
prediction.
Tulip King.
Yeah.
I love his
He-
name.
Tulip
He's
King.
like a degenerate. He's into the tulip
Yeah.
markets. This man.
Yeah. So
He's
if
Dutch.
you're not aware,
I'm going to
yeah, if
call him
you're not
Dutch, even
aware,
if he's not Dutch.
yeah, if you're not aware about he what's the reference here is the tulip bubble, like 2 centuries ago when people were paying crazy amount of money for tulip bulbs in
For
Europe.
something that grows in the ground.
Yes, that's it. People were paying kind of the price of a house for this, and I mean, this definitely it is a smart guy, and I mean, but the fact is not that easy. But you
It's
need to
not.
try, you need to learn, you need to find your edge, and to do that, you need to trade and you need to spend some money. This is why we've been repeating ourselves the $1 trade. I mean, you can do that with $1. You don't need to lose $2,000 to like me lose 20. lose 20 and start to get better or
I
something
keep
like
losing
that.
20. I just never ever like get back up to 50 and then just lose another 20. And then like get back up to 50 and just lose another 20. I don't know what
Yes, yes.
happens. It's like you come up with a formula, you get bored with it, fuck the game up,
Yes, you start
start
to do.
again.
Uh-huh.
This is what it looks like to me from the
Yeah,
outside.
because it's steady and slow is not fun. So you try to gamble your way out,
And here is the
and yeah.
speculation is entertainment man right here for us all to watch.
We need entertainment, guys. We need entertainment. And okay, so on the other side, honestly, a monster trade. Joe Biden showed up with with some serious conviction pretty early in the Russia-Ukraine ceasefire in 2025 market. He put in $500,000 at 35 cents and now sits with a tidy almost $900,000 in profit. Okay, and people were saying that he was too old to be president. Now he's showing
No,
his skill.
joking.
He's showing
Don't
his
follow the
skills.
inside track. His son was out there like doing deals and giving kickbacks. Right? I can't remember where I was watching this the other day. Actually, apparently, like he was getting 50 grand a month from a Ukrainian oil company,
Really?
and
Fuck.
there was an
Okay.
email leaked, and part of the an email said, I think it's something like 10% gets kicked back to the old man. This is while he was fucking president. It's just like the
Yeah.
shit
So
that's going on in the world is
this
fucking
is
outrageous. It's
this is
fucking
what they
outrageous what's going on.
this is what they mean when they say that it pays off to be the president's son.
For sure.
Okay, so let's move with Moses. And
Oh,
this, I mean,
we're never gonna do a show without Moses. I don't think
I wish, I don't know,
he's a top
Moses. I
dog
mean, I would love
forever.
to hear your voice. I mean, straight from would be
I
the
don't know.
voice of
Jenky's
George
like Christian
W.
Bale, and everybody else gets that reference, and they watch shitty movies like me.
It will be nice. I mean, to imagine talk to those guys, and I imagine they do have a deep voice or this kind of stuff, and then
Yes.
then they are really young. They can be like 15 years old teenager. I don't know, just with this kind of voice. It will be a surprise. It will be fun. Okay,
Nobody knows what God really like. No.
yeah, anyway, yes, okay. So I just wanted to bring this because we've, I mean, most of times, and it's really inspiring and it's really cool to show how much money people make with prediction markets and with trading, with everything. But most people don't show when they lose. And it was really gratifying to see this kind of stuff. Not because
Yeah.
I wasn't happy to see him lose, but I was happy to see him sharing the bad day.
Yeah, I
So
think you learn most from like the failures, and people learn more from your failures than they do. So if you keep posting about how great you are and how much money you make, you only really make people feel like they need to be doing more or doing better, right? Like, and
yeah,
people might be like, "Oh, you're a bitch if you think that," but no, actually, that's just the human condition. It's just the way it fucking works, right? So it's good to show people, like, "Oh, I fucking crapped out here. Like, I thought
yeah,
I was in and lost it," and that just shows you that at times even the best traders have
even the best.
hubris, right?
The
And
best.
they can make mistakes, and then but that's like I think that's great. I think more traders should do
Should
that. I
be
think
doing that.
like
Yeah.
Polymarket Kalshi, the prediction market world needs to be more like that to differentiate us from like the crypto nonsense that we've seen over the past like 10
Yeah.
years.
So
So I think that's cool. I like that.
the
Go
prediction
Moses.
market trader guy, he's been doing his trades lives, most of them at least for the mentioned
Yeah.
markets. So I mean, people can see when he makes
That's
money and
pure
when he's not
entertainment,
making.
isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
pure entertainment.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's really fun. So let's go to Moses here. So some days you may lose even though you bought good positions. Today it happened to me. Lost nearly $600 because Elon came back posting, trying to take lessons of what was done wrong. Maybe I should have sold some when it was up. Dude, this is the phrase that every trader, everyone who trades say, okay, maybe I should have done that, but we can only see that when it's too late. Most
Okay, so
important, stay calm and move forward. That's
I
it.
have friends and they're traders. They're better than me, right? And they're better than me. Of course they are. I'm terrible at trading. But they're what they always say to me is just sell half, keep half. And
Mm,
it's the whole take profit thing. And they're always just like, if you get something like that, sell half of it and keep
yeah,
half of it. And it's like
yeah,
either way, you made money. Like,
The money.
yeah, you might not have made
Yeah,
loads, but like sell half, keep half. You'll be fine.
yeah.
And that they're so calm. They're like, just do that. You'll be fine.
Mhm.
You'll be like, it's like get your ego out the road, take the money,
Yeah,
and leave
but
some of
it's
it in,
hard.
and then if you
It's
get
hard.
upside, it's so
Yeah, it's
fucking
hard.
hard.
You look and you think, okay, I can make more. I can double this money. I can make. Yeah, that's always the more that we want, it makes us
And I
commit these
wonder,
mistakes. But
wonder if what
yeah.
the psychology is like on lower numbers versus bigger numbers, right? Like, or do you just get
there's
greedier?
and
As
there's
it like,
there's
oh, it's like,
this.
oh man, I can make 100 quid today, and then like you've done that for like 10 years, and you're like, I can make 100 grand today, but
Mhm.
I'm going to try and hold out to get 120,
But
and you're
there's
like,
this.
oh, but I should
Have you ever heard about this psychological thing that we have, that we feel harder when we lose money than we feel good when we make money. So if I make $100, okay, I feel good. But if I
yeah,
lose $100, I feel way better. This is why people try to trade back their positions, what they lost, and then they
mm.
totally lose their minds and they just do shit and they
just
keep
just
losing
quick
everything.
interruption here, because guys, we are in the chat. If you want to join in, the problem is it's shit and laggy, so I don't get updates when you message. But Justin, shout out Justin. He messages. What did he sent us a he sent us something. I'm going to post it in.
Is it a picture? Is it a picture
It's
of
a,
him
it's a,
doing the
it's a thing.
pull-ups?
I'll
The
give it to you.
pull-ups?
Check. No, it's not that pull ups. You're obsessed with the
Uh,
pull ups. Not everybody's into pull ups like you,
let's
right?
see, what is this?
You just
Starting
yeah,
off
starting off
incredibly.
incredibly strong this week
Fuck.
at minus 55. All right. Yeah.
Okay,
Yo.
is this one here? Oh fuck, yeah.
And prediction meme coin prediction market. They're like, Diego, who the fuck are you? I don't recognize you. What's with that mustache? Please, please don't kill my family. I'll get you your money.
Guys, I'm traveling. I'm
I'm just
traveling.
late. Give me
I
one
got
more
my.
day. I'll be fine.
That's it. Yeah, just for tomorrow. The next show I will be back at normal. So I brought my shaver. Is that shaver, right? And but I didn't bring the plastic pieces to change how high is the thing. So I had two options: no facial hair or some facial hair. And yeah, I decided to go with a mustache. And just going off the rails, my father, I only saw my father without a mustache when I was 20 years old. He has a mustache like for 30 years. And I was born, he was wearing a mustache. So yeah, there's
I'm
this
going to do the
thing.
handlebars, man. I'm going to do.
Uh,
So you're going to do like
I'm not I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
I'm
People
going to do
know I'm a
this.
nice guy.
I'm
I'm
going to
not
be
that
like
bad
I'm
to
going to
have
get a
that.
motorbike.
That
I used to have motorbikes, but
yeah.
you know,
And I don't have a
I'm going to biker
motorcycle.
gang. I'm going to go
I
biker gang.
Okay, I know. I hate, I hate these guys. It's always an old guy or a kind of younger guy who wants to be old, and they think they're really cool with Harley Davidsons just making a fucking tone of noise that I hate. I don't know why people
It's a
pay.
patented sound.
Is what?
Nobody else is allowed to make the sound that
Nobody,
Harley Davidson makes.
nobody cares for that sound. It's a stupid
Everybody
sound that
does. It's just
that
you
should
that
not
doesn't, and you're
exist.
generalizing
It
across the
should
rest of
not
the
exist.
population of
That's
the
what I
earth.
do. That's what I
I know
do.
that's you.
It's what I do. It's the same
You
what I
should be
do
like a
with the voice
stand-up,
groups.
like stereotype based comedian, and like half people will like it, and half the people will think you're a scumbag.
Yeah, people don't know when I'm making jokes or when I'm being serious, but this is life. Okay. Okay, yes. $50,000. Dude, my praise for you. Okay. Oh, then we have here's from Atlantic's liquidity. But guys, if you like to ride a Harley Davidson, go ahead. But most people don't like that sound. But yeah, if you think that's cool, I'm sorry for you. But yeah, go ahead, ride
Diego,
your
get back
motorcycle.
on topic.
User half pound half pound lost $500,000 in a single day by betting that the government shutdown would end in November 12th. What would you feel if you were him? And there was a kind of a situation with this market here, and I think car was the one.
Lots of people got burnt by this off
Fuck,
that
I
taxi driver
lost.
information.
Yes, I mentioned that we were covering car, but I lost his post here. There was a problem. I think we covered that on the last show. There was a problem, not a problem, but there was a detail with the rules. Remember, it was not when the shutdown was announced, but actually when was written in the rule. actually the document, the official document, when that would happen. So it was kind of a 2 days
Yeah, it was
between.
yeah, because they say it basically meant they would have their agreement on that day, or at least they would say we're ready to open, and then it takes a few days to open because there's bureaucracy around it.
Yeah,
It didn't just shut down for no reason. It was a whole legal thing. Trump had to sign something. They wanted to make a
that's
big
it.
deal about it. So that's it. Um, Greek
Yeah.
gambler, he's pissed. He's like, where the fuck are my posts? Like, why are you not posting about me? Why where? So
Where are
like
you?
so
Send me a post. Whenever you post, ping me. 0x8 profits.
Yeah, or ping the
Yeah,
Groovy account, and then we check them because we can't. Like the algorithm is mental. Like
yeah,
we
bro.
see people for like intensely, and then they disappear, and I don't understand. It's
That
like
happens. That's true.
Polysites,
That's true.
Justin, if you're listening, um, Polysites has disappeared from our feed
Yeah,
like
that's true.
entirely. Like
For
I
me
don't
as
see
well.
anything, and I don't know. I need to go to the account to check stuff, so I don't know if like you guys aren't posting as much, or they're not trending as much, or there's some sort
Yeah.
of bullshit Twitter thing. But if you've got hot stuff, just hit us, like, because we always want guests and stuff. I know it's
Yes.
just Diego and I, but I hate looking at his face, and he hates looking at mine.
That's why I
So
have
we
a
need to bring
professional.
somebody else in.
Yeah. So I have a couple of lists that I follow, and most of you guys are on those lists. And but suddenly it does not appear on the list. So this is why. But
Yeah,
anyway, if you think that your content is, I mean, if you want that covered especially, just ping me, and I want to
yeah.
check that out. Okay, this is shout out to Ali. This was a
Ah, well,
really
okay. One
good
one
post.
thing,
So
politics has been a little bit quieter right now, but they're going to become back hard soon. So that's good.
okay,
That's good.
okay, it's good to know. So Caution Trader explaining prediction markets to a meme coin trencher. This is amazing, bro. This was a really nice post. I was laughing now with this. Yeah. So this is from Caleb. So how much do prediction markets influence real world events? And yeah, it seems it talks about Mandani. Let's see. It's talking about. I mean, it's an aftermath of the New York election. So during
Yep.
the recent New York City mayor election, there was criticism on the potential
Criticisms.
influence criticism about potential influence prediction markets had to electorate, most notably from Bill Ackerman. I want to see if there was any truth to that. I'm not going to read Bill Ackerman's post because we covered this here. So the
Well,
claims that,
what the one when he's telling people how to go out and get dates with people, like
oh
name
yeah,
a
there's
date
this
or
new
something like
one.
that. Come on,
There's this
Bill.
new one.
Come on.
What?
Nobody ever does that anymore. Come
How
on.
is the guy, dude? I lost that. How is the
It was like
guy?
a bad episode of Friends. It was fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
What's
Anyway,
what is the
sorry.
guy that we always follow that he makes these small videos? He has a different smile, a nice smile. He was trying that on the subway yesterday. I saw the video.
Oh, was it him?
Anyway, I get him. Like anyway, yeah, no. So okay, the claims that prediction markets have a strong social influence on people's decisions. Your money brain see your monkey brain see odds, and the new information alters your thinking. Ekman claiming people stayed home and didn't vote was obviously wrong, but I think here's a kernel of truth buried in Bill's claim. First, let's be clear, and this is the video when Zohan mentioned his the percentage of the Cauchy market about his potentially being elected. Now, prediction markets did have a measurable social and cultural influence on the election. Mandami referred Cauchy odds throughout his campaign. Both platforms peaked in search volume to the eve of the election, and the news used these odds in analysis. But did it actually change the electorate's decision? Probably not. Mandani had been projected to win by both mainstream media, pollsters, and prediction markets since he won the Democrat primary. Cuomo was running as an independent and already had a bad rap with the city for how he handled COVID and his other personal issues. I don't know what they're
We
talking
don't know
about.
what that because we're not New
Yeah,
Yorkers.
I'm not a New Yorker. Yeah, even behind closed doors, power players knew Mondani was New York City's future. For better or worse, it was an uphill battle that Cuomo ultimately lost. So markets for things like elections have a huge amount of attention and participation. The entirety of New York City, uh, making it possible to shift public sentiment directly. not only people from New York City, a lot of people from all over the world were trading those markets here. We saw
Yeah.
like um how much was the total volume?
It
I
was like 100 million or something like that.
something like that. I think, yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
it
So
was huge.
was Ekman wrong? It was. Our prediction market just new forms of pools with no public influence, just a bunch of offshore agents. Not quite. Prediction markets don't shift elections; they polarize the electorate. The recent New York City mayor election had its highest voter turnout in almost a century. First time voters did not politically active, and younger generations came out in droves to make sure their vote counted. But why? A big reason were the ads by Cauchy and Polymarket with live feeds of the elections plastered all over the city. This is really cool. I mean, you can see the feeling of people live.
So wait a minute. So he
So
was implying that the ads that were run by the private companies drove for voter turnout.
drove people to vote. Yeah, drove
How
people to
does
vote.
is that like? Is he there and that's what
It,
they
it,
were
it
saying?
it's an
I'd like to know
understand.
why that because it makes sense from an out because that's what out of home advertising does, right? Um, that's really interesting, right? Because is that how we get? Because voter turnout is a huge problem globally,
Uh-huh.
particularly in developed economies, right?
No,
Where
we solved
everything
this.
is the same.
No, we solved this problem in Brazil. You have
How?
to vote. You have no
Or you
choice. You
get
have
arrested?
to go vote. You
Do you get
get
fucking arrested for that?
you get to pay a fee. You get to pay a fee, and your social security number get blocked, so you cannot borrow money from the bank. We solved this
Oh
shit here,
my
bro.
god, that's a dictatorship. No
I
way,
know.
man.
I
So what do
know.
they do? Just
We are
spoil the
thugs here.
ballot. They go, I'm voting for a wanker and then put it in. That's how I would do it. Is that what you can do
Most
that?
people, a lot of people go and they vote blank. They vote blank,
Right,
but they
okay.
have to be there and press a key.
All right. I
That's
mean,
it.
it's a bit
I mean,
okay.
you are not allowed. You can vote between 16 and 18, but you don't have to, but you can. And after
Right.
70 or 75, you don't have to vote anymore, but you still can.
Rightfully so. You're not going to be around very long after the election. You should not be determining what the next fucking 10 years of this country looks. I say that to my mother. I'm like, you should not be allowed to vote anymore. Your behavior is unreasonable. You're not going to be here and we have to deal with that shit. Stop it.
No, I mean, there's more. It's more a kind of a health situation, no? Because people are getting elder, they have difficult to look to go to the places to vote. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, we solve it this really easy. We don't have to incentivize people. I mean, we incentivize them with fees and obligating them to go. So you knew the exact odds for who was going to win by stepping outside and looking up. The election was omnipresent. Everyone knew the stakes. Voting became a cultural event for the city, which it's pretty cool. This kind of incentive and excitement pushed people to the polls. People who might have otherwise stayed home or were on the fence felt the need to go and vote to do their part. It didn't change their opinion, just forced them to take action. Polarizing. So, but what about markets that are in the elections? Whose outcomes is decided by a handful of participants? This is where things get interesting, and where prediction markets do have outsized influence on the outcomes of real-world events. We are already seeing in a small ways, like with this recent Coinbase earnings call when Brian Armstrong read out the words on his mentioned markets. We covered this, was really fun. Uh, that may seem insignificant, but it shows us a few important things. Prediction markets polarize bettors, market participants, and outcomes. Tail end outcomes become more likely as prediction markets focus attention on markets. The monetary incentive encourage outside participants to try and ensure their outcome. Over time, this adds up. Think about earlier this year when people were throwing dildos on WNBA courts to catch their bets, throwing their lives away for a couple $1,000s. They wouldn't have done that normally, but the existence of a market itself created incentive, the moment, and the decision in this bizarre recursive way. Do you really think it stops here? Fuck.
This
So
is self-aware
market,
market stuff, right? This is like
yeah,
essentially it.
and if people have enough money, incentivizing them to do something, I don't know. They might do that. Market participants are suddenly aware of the odds and it can have drastic impact on their individual decisions. Say you are working on the up the courage to ask out a girl not knowing the odds.
No, don't do this.
Yes, I'm okay. Okay, you think there's a decent shot it works out. You ask her
He's
out, it
trolling
works.
Ackman.
You
He's
get
trolling Ackman. This is what he's doing.
okay. Okay. Would you still pursue that if you knew you only had a 5% chance? Of course, depending on the girl. 5% chance, bro. Why not?
What's the
Maybe,
cost?
but yeah, what's the cost? That's the
What's the
thing.
downside? What's the downside risk here? What's like
Exactly. I was having this discussion about this is how you manage risk. Okay, 95% chances of a no. What's going to happen? Just a no? Fuck it. Why not? I would take that bet. Maybe, but for many, it would likely turn them away. Or maybe you are a gambler and the low odds make it more enticing than it would have been. Suddenly, you are living a whole different life, and that's just for you. On the macro, this could look like a politician dropping out of an election early due to bad odds, or staying in the race and spoiling another candidate for the moonshot, or out of stubbornness. Market
picture
actors
of that
may
old dude.
make decisions with the goal of cashing out. This isn't as crazy as you think. Earlier this year, Lord Miles was caught insider trading on his own market and farming his audience, walking away with hundreds of thousands of dollars. We extensively covered this here as well. You already see that scale as well with gambling scandals in the NBA, NFL, and other sports leagues becoming early occurrence. Fuck, man. As liquid increases and payout potential skyrockets, it might encourage others to manipulate important events or decisions to get a nice payout. I mean, there's always the
Okay.
risk here of getting banned
So
from
we just
sport.
did a round trip of what we spoke about at the beginning of the show, where we were
That's it.
saying, and this is the point where regulation will come in and say, if you're fucking doing that, you're going to jail,
Yeah.
right? But it's got
Mhm.
nothing to do with poly market,
No, no, nothing to
right?
do with it. Yeah.
And this is the interesting thing. Oh, did we have 158 people on our stream?
Yeah,
Nice.
158. Fuck, we have
Only
more people than the Dev
and that
Connect.
probability god's on the other one. Come on, player.
Mm,
I have to
yep, line.
DM him, be like, why were you not on ours? What was
Yeah,
so interesting about Yapline, the truth behind personal brands?
nothing. I'm gonna tell you guys, there's nothing.
No,
Okay,
don't go
all
there.
three
Don't
of
you?
these phenomena scale exponentially as market diversity, liquidity, and attention on predictor markets expand. Feedback snowballs and then begins to feed into itself and amplify its effect further. Prediction markets get more accurate due to liquidity plus insider activity. People use their forecasts for policy or decision making because it's the best option. Then it repeats. It's a flywheel. There's always a flywheel. It becomes plus EV. What is the plus EV? For everyone involved in capitalizing on the truth machine. KTLDR. Does this mean that reality is programmable by influencing prediction markets? Probably not. Prediction markets don't directly change outcomes of events, but polarize or excite the market participants, leading to more accurate predictions over time, but more extreme tails and outcomes. This effect is amplified in markets where less people are involved in the outcome. One person might become irrational due to this polarization, and their action might drastically change the entire event. The feedback from these extremes then feeds back into itself, reinforcing prediction markets' influence, actualizing predictions more frequently, restarting the cycle of influence and polarization. And after that, who knows? We have our entire lives to figure it out. So it's an interesting reading, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's good.
just it says
I
something
did a
that
bit of
we've been.
research on turnout rates while we were covering it, and it's like the previous one was 1989 in New York,
Mhm.
um, and it was basically there was a lot of racial divide and stuff like that going on, and it was it ended up being the first African American being elected, and there's a parallel story there with what happened in New York. Although he was elected on a sort
In
of
New York.
moderate platform, but
Uh-huh.
this other dude is elected on a socialist one, or social democratic. So not, I don't think he's full socialist. I don't listen to the news.
Yeah, so I have a few more, a couple more articles, Nick. I think we could go to at least over one of them because
Okay,
I've
yeah, yeah.
yeah, because I've been
What one?
talking about the momentary comprehensive guide to prediction markets. Let me share my screen here.
Got it. Okay,
You
Nigel
guys,
Eccles.
Nigel Echoes, yes.
Nigel
So,
Eccles.
yeah, I didn't have the chance to go through this in the last show. So let's get to it right now. So this is Nigel Echoes, co-founder and CEO of BetHog. Hog airdrop launching. Okay, loading. Okay, sure. Farming. Okay, a momentary comprehensive guide to prediction markets inside the race to build Cauchy Poly market and 100 billion plus asset class. Okay, I think there's an interesting misalignment between how the media talks about Cauchy and Poly market and how the two companies investors probably view them. The media is focused on how prediction markets are upending the sports betting industry. I've seen endless commentary on Cauchy's growing NFL volumes, sportsbook plummeting stocks, Cauchy and Polymark NHL deals, and DraftKings acquisition of the CFTC license startup Railbird. Of course, sports are a large part of prediction markets currently hype cycle. Since the start of the NFL seasons, sports have made around 90% of total cash trading volume. But I think caution polymarket investors are paying much less attention to sports than the media thinks. Sequoia and AI6, I always say AI16Z, fuck, A16Z recently backed Caution at 5 billion and Caution now seeking a 10 to 12 billion valuation. Intercontinental Exchange just backed Polymarket at 9 billion after Founders Fund led a round and Polymarket's now seeking 12 to 15 billion valuation. The world's most prestigious mega funds have high bars of investing anywhere outside AI. That's true.
Hmm.
On every investment, they have to underwrite a venture scale return from 5 to 10x minimum to help return their mega funds. And if they are back in Cauchy and Polymarket between 5 to 15 billion valuations, the sports betting, um, what is TAM?
Um,
It's
total addressable market.
total addressable market simply isn't large enough. DraftKings,
Yes.
the largest US sportbook, has a 15 billion market cap. Further, the world's largest online betting company has a 40 billion market cap, and that's been a 25-year journey. So basically, if what he's saying here is that if sports were the main thing for Cauchy and Poly market, they would have reached already the top of their valuation
Yes.
since traditional
Yes. Yes.
sports betting company have this valuation even though they are around for over 20 years.
And this is the tricky thing with doing a TAM. I hate all this shit. Like, see, we did it for what we done. I've done it in the past, but I hate the TAM stuff, right? Particularly with emerging technology, because you can't really group it properly into it, right? Because it's not just sports betting. So what you meant to take every market, I like every category of market and build a TAM around it. Like, it's just mad. It is not just betting, and it's not just financial asset markets. It is it's not just crypto markets, right? Because you could class all of those. It's not just political betting. You know, it's like these are all kind of individual silos. Ooh, hitting the mic, and and yeah, the market is huge. And I think we mentioned this last Thursday, where we were just like, actually, and we have no idea what happens when these become far more embedded in our culture. Like, how big do prediction markets become when they become part of the regular culture? So, for example, we were talking to somebody from Tradbet, and they were like, "Yeah, my kid, this is like geared totally perfectly for my kids because they're not really interested in betting." And this guy comes from the industry, his whole life
Mhm.
and his family and stuff like that, they're in it, and they're just not that interested.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this is where he's going to. So, what's the grand ambition of Cauchy Polymarket and the VCs? And is it realistic? That's what I will explore in this essay, Momentary Comprehensive Guide to Prediction Markets. I say momentarily because the space is moving so quickly, but I say comprehensive because I will try to address all the most important issues at play. Part 1, I will explain what Grand Vision Cauchy Polymarket is VCC and why that vision is so tied up in widely unpredictable American politics. Part 2, I will explore who's most likely to emerge from the chaos in the dominant US sports prediction market. And in part 3, I will share where I'm most excited to see innovation around prediction market as an early stage investors. So let's go at least to part 1 to see here what's the vision for the investors. What's the grand vision and why is set up to American politics? The grand vision of Cauchy and Poly markets for prediction markets to establish a new massive financial asset class. The best comps aren't sports books. They are financial exchange with 50 to 150 billion market cap. And the Intercontinental Exchange, CME Group, Binance. So it's the futures, it's the stock exchange, the future exchange, and Binance, the largest cryptocurrency
Exactly.
exchange. So these companies all make money by operating the core infrastructure of global markets. They match buyers and sellers, clear trades, and monetize data and fees from every transaction. Cauchy and Polymarket are far from size of these giants. In October, Cauchy and Polymarket processed $7.5 billion in combined volume. For perspective, the New York Exchange proceeded 134 billion
Yeah.
over the same period. So it's, I don't know, 20 times more, roughly, a little bit less. But Cauchy and Polymarket believe in the future where, just like institutional and retail investors trade equities, options, and crypto, they also trade event contracts. Hedge funds like Bridgewater will make macroeconomics bets on the number of the Fed rate cuts. Corporates like Nike will hedge geopolitical risk by betting on the new China tariffs. Retail investors will trade their own dollars on the New York City mayoral election. This is the vision. So Cauchy and Poly market also believe in a future where prediction markets are a source of truth for society. If you talk with any prediction markets nerd like Polymarket CEO Shane Copeland, they will point you in the direction of a Nobel Prize winning 1945 essay by Hayek. So, the use of knowledge in society. That is, they essentially argue that decentralized markets can aggregate information and drive prices more accurately than any centralized planner. Or
Mm.
frame it as a practical example, a prediction market can predict the result of presidential election better than any poll or media outlet. Copeland likes to emphasize that Polymarket predicted Trump 2024 victory well before the polls and media.
Hmm.
In the not so distant future, it's possible that consumers will view Cauchy and or polymarket odds in the ground truth probability of any major event, from the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl to Taylor Swift having a child to the Fed raising rates. If the Wall Street Journal writes about Tesla today, they will embed Tesla's stock ticker in the article. That stock price is seen as an objective metric for company performance. If event contracts gain the same credibility, the journal could one day include in the same article the Cauchy odds of Tesla hitting delivery quotas this quarter. You would even imagine Cauchy or Polymarket becoming a directory world company, just like you would Google Taylor Swift, your Taylor Swift tour's dates, you will check the Cauchy, or even she will release her next album. So long-term sports could be the most traded type of events contract. If you think about it, sports are society's largest category of events that happen all the time and people care about. Side note. So that's also why sports are single-handed propping up cable TV. So, but the challenge in Cauchy and Poly market will have the hardest time legally justifying sports events as financial markets and not gambling. Which brings us to the massive legal, political, and moral question that will determine the future of prediction markets. Are event contracts financial instruments under federal CFTC regulation or gambling under the regulation? That question is the center of the entire prediction market hype cycle. Unlike in AI, prediction markets have not exploded because of new technological innovation. Sports betting exchange have existed internationally, like Betfair,
Yeah.
and even in certain US states for years now. Prediction markets have exploded because of regulatory arbitrage. In 2023 to 24, Cauchy sued the CFTC and won a federal appeal, which decided that event contracts around congressional elections were not gambling activity. The last November, Donald Trump won the White House. The CFTC voluntarily dismissed its appeal, and Cauchy took the bold step of launching sports contracts in January. Polymarket have a slightly different path. Whereas Cauchy feels like a fintech platform taking bank deposits and require know your customer, Polymarket has a blockchain protocol and takes crypto deposit. But they are very similar, benefited from Trump's regulatory regime. Just under a year ago, the Biden administration treated Polymarket as a bad actor when the FBA raided the New York's apartment of Shane Copeland. Today, under the Trump administration, Polymarket is preparing for the re-entry into the US, and Copeland is the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Nick, I'm gonna go
It's huge, eh?
for it's huge. I'm gonna go for so it's well
This
written,
is
it's well
huge,
researched.
huge. We're only
Yeah,
in part two.
yeah, we are only on part one.
Okay, let's
So
not go too deep.
no, yeah. But in the meantime, Caution and Polymarket are moving at rapid speed to raise more money, acquire more customers, establish a massive asset class before regulatory tailwinds change. The longer Trump and
That
his allies are in
that's
office,
the key thing is that I
yeah,
think we take from this so far is the only reason this is running the way it is because Trump is in, basically
yeah.
saying, I don't give a fuck about financial regulation. He doesn't like financial regulation. He believes that it should be fully open for anybody to do what they want. So that the SEC will reflect that in some way. Not entirely because they are still suing people, right? Like
Mm-hmm,
let's not.
mm-hmm.
But they're not going to get in front of these guys. They're not going to bother these guys very much. They're not going to
So,
bother prediction markets
so yeah, for now at least, no. And
for
the
now.
second
For now.
part, what happens to American sports betting industry? So everything relies on the regulatory environment, if it holds or not. So this is. I mean, if we have a kind of a friendly regulation, or of at least a friendly, yeah, administration to what's going on, okay, we are still going to see everything growing. So where do I see room for new startups to emerge? um, Business to customer, business to business. Let's go to the end, see
They
if
got a
he has.
TLDR at the end.
Yes, no, he doesn't.
No, it
So
doesn't.
that
We
brings
can
us
just do
back
that
to
in
the very
ChatGPT.
crux of this essay. Prediction markets are exciting because they have the potential to emerge into a massive new asset class, like the equities or opinion markets, and options market, sorry, like equities. So we would have equities, option markets, and these events markets. And outside
Mhm.
of caution poly market, there's plenty of room for innovation across both business to customer and business to business. But
Yeah.
the entire category depends on how regulation shakes out. That's it, which only time will tell. In the meantime, I'm paying close attention to the rise of prediction markets, and the Will Venture team is actively investing in this space. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you a call. If you're
I
building around
think
prediction markets, please reach out. That's it.
I think I reckon that by the time Trump leaves the White House, because it won't nothing will change while he's in the White House. I don't think unless at the end of this run, because I don't think this run's over yet, right? But like if at the end of this run we see
So the
so much damage
next next
that
election is the next year, right? End of
no,
next year. No?
how Trump?
Yeah, or two
No, he
more
just get
years.
in. It's like 4 years,
Just fuck. I'm
three
lost
more
in
years,
I'm lost in time. So
three
this
more years from now,
he's,
because he was
he's
elected this
completing.
time last year.
Okay, he's completing the first year. Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah,
2024. Okay, he's
so it's
completing.
3 years,
Okay,
but
three
he's
more
trying to
years.
get a 5-year term. I think
Yeah.
they're trying to change it. I mean, we have that in the UK. It's like
Hmm.
it doesn't matter what's one more year of some
Yeah.
fucking politician in charge who does what the fuck they
Yeah.
like.
So, but three
Um,
more years for the industry would be
Amazing.
enough time. Yeah, would
Yeah,
be enough time
because
to
this
be
will
well
become so
established.
mainstream and so normal that the regulators will not be able to shut it down. They might be able to put the handcuffs on it a bit, or tighten things, or make the rules clearer, or something like that. But they're not going to be able to stop it. Stop
Hmm.
prediction markets anyway. That doesn't transfer into the rest of crypto and DeFi, right? As far as I'm concerned, like that's not how I see it. You're
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I was muted. I was muted. I agree with you. I think 3 more years it's enough to be well established and to have clear regulations. And if this is the path, if we are going to have the equity markets, the options markets in a kind of a future events markets, in 3 years should be enough to at least to establish the baseline for that.
Yeah, to create some sort of, because this is not betting and it's not traditional markets, so we need a new regulatory framework. And crypto has always needed a new regulatory
Mhm.
framework,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Or a massive amendment to the current framework
Hmm.
because it's decentralized.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like yeah, you can drag CEOs in and stuff like that, but when it comes to Bitcoin, there's no CEO. There's nobody you can drag in front of a house
Hmm.
committee.
Yeah.
Like is and there's nobody, even though there's people that go and represent Bitcoin in political spaces, you don't represent Bitcoin. You represent your interests in Bitcoin to these people.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
think we're a while. I think this is going to be good for crypto having him in. Um, I don't know about anything else, but that's just let's see. Maybe he makes number go up, and we can all go to Mars or get on one of Elon's or Bezos' rockets and just fucking get out of here.
That's it. That's it. So, guys, before we wrap this up, just let me say thanks for all the almost 200 people that joined us already today. We are not going to have a show on Thursday because, as you know, I'm in Buenos Aires for Dev Connect, so things are quite busy around here. But make sure to follow us at Groovy Market. We will have some news for you guys in the next few days. Make sure to subscribe to the newsletter, the $1 Trade Show. And if you're writing good content about prediction markets, make sure to tag me and the Groovy account, 0x Take Profits or Groovy Markets, so we can feature you if your content is good. And if you
Yeah.
want to join the show, send us a DM. Let's know what
You
you
can
want to
be
talk about.
anon. It's fine. You
Yeah,
don't need to show
yeah,
your face.
you
We
don't
don't
need to
care.
serve. Yeah. If you just want to talk with us about what we are covering here in prediction markets, you are invited. So thanks a
Yes.
lot, everyone. Thanks a lot, Nick. See you guys next week.